Again, my name is Mike Guthrie. I work for NetFoundry as the DevOps engineering team lead. And want to talk a little bit about just setting a stage and explaining what zero trust networking is, why we should care about it and so forth, especially within the DevOps space. Full disclaimer, I am not a sales guy. I'm very much an engineer. I love to get things done, and I love tools that help me get my work done faster at the end of the day. Something I have wrestled with in terms of DevOps engineering is that, a key part of our job is that we have to wire systems together. And typically we have to do this in a way that someone's always waiting on us, whether it's the application team, operation team, and so forth. But we have to connect systems, whether it's for deployment, whether it's for monitoring, data warehousing, you name it. We tie things together and so forth. But constantly we're kind of the problem children amongst the security people's eyes, because that means we're creating new doorways for access. We're punching holes in firewalls, and we need to allow access and so forth. And we ourselves are often having to run around with access that is very difficult to audit and track and so forth as well. And this makes the job very difficult for security people and so forth. So how do we move faster without making the CISO hate me? And go ahead and Thorsten, advance us a slide. One way that people try to get around this is, well, maybe we just don't tell them some of the things that we wire up. Another way, Thorsten, you can advance this one more. Another way that people try to get around it is that we manipulate this idea of scope to where we say, okay, well, we're gonna put our production application that's public facing, we're gonna declare that within scope of the security audits and all the compliance checklists and so forth. But all of my toys, all of my tools as a DevOps engineer, we're just going to declare those out of scope, and therefore we don't necessarily have to worry about all the audits, and we don't have to secure them in the same way. And I would challenge that as a DevOps community, we need to stop doing that. There's too much of that going on, and we need to start thinking about our security tooling differently. Because I think that what we're seeing is that in the industry, it's our tools that they're coming after, because our tools are the tools that wire systems together. They deploy code, they collect data, and so forth. And so compromising our DevOps tools is a fantastic way to compromise an infrastructure. And so we need to rethink how we're connecting our systems together. Next slide. So as we look at zero trust networking, I wanted to just kind of explain what it is in the context of NetFoundry and the open source product that we've built upon, which is OpenZD. OpenZD is a zero trust networking technology, and NetFoundry is the enterprise offering on top of that. And a couple of the key ideas with zero trust networking is that it is identity-based network access. So your application itself, it might have authorization in front of it and so forth, but in terms of accessing the actual address or the port and so forth, it's controlling that and saying, only trusted entities, only trusted identities can actually access this particular address and so forth. And by default, nothing else can access it. Different entities, maybe your cell phone might represent an identity, your laptop might be an identity, but you can even have a fully app embedded, an application is actually an identity and so forth. So key aspect of understanding zero trust networking is that we're getting away from a mindset and a paradigm of IPs and ports, and you're moving towards identities and services. And essentially, and what you can do is you can create policies to manage down to on a least privileged way what identities can access what services and so forth. And another key advantage of using a zero trust networking is that all traffic is monitored in terms of for every flow of traffic that flows through an OpenZD network, we actually know down to the network session level which identity it was, what service they were accessing, and so forth. So it also solves a problem related to accountability. With the diagram on the bottom there, a key difference between traditional networking and zero trust networking is that you can connect systems together without opening any new doors. You don't have to have any new ingress coming into a data center to create connectivity, because in a zero trust network, essentially everything dials outbound into the fabric, and then it's the fabric itself based on your policies that can control who can talk to what. And so in the diagram in the bottom, you've got a trusted entity in data center A, and only that trusted identity can talk to the private resource in data center B. And you can do all of that without even opening any ingress into data center B at all. And so it's a new way of thinking about how to create access and connectivity without allowing you to, without basically being that problem child where you have to punch a whole bunch of holes in firewalls and create a whole bunch of new doors into systems and so forth. And so it's much different than, again, we're in the model up above where you've got data center A and data center B. If something's compromised in data center A, essentially you may have compromised data center B at the same time because you've created a bridge between the two of them. Whereas in a zero trust networking world, you don't have that same problem where you can get really, really isolated in terms of the access. And you can essentially keep your system a lot more locked up by not allowing any egress into systems.
Hi, we are Eficode and we organize the DevOps Conference. We think that DevOps solves the conflict between security and the rate of innovation. If you are burdened by compliance, regulation, and red tape, we would love to talk and help you with your next steps. You can find us at eficode.com. The links are in the description. And have a great time with the DevOps Conference talks.
We'll go ahead and move on to the next slide. I'm actually going to kick it over to Jan now. So he's going to give us some more details about Cerm and some of the problems he's had to solve there using Zero Trust.
Okay, thank you, Mike. I'm Jan Guldentops. I run a small Belgian consultancy company called BA, and we were basically hired by Cerm with M, not with N, right? They don't do nuclear physics and that kind of stuff. To help them build their infrastructure. We're basically extra resources, extra thinking capacity for them. Now, next slide, please. And what we basically do is Cerm builds ERP software like SAP for companies that produce industrial labels and packaging, right? And that's a very cool business. They provide a lot of labels. The packaging industry is really revolutionizing, right? We print serial numbers on eggs these days, right? And that's what they supply the ERP software to. They're a global player, so they sell global. And they're a small company from the west of Flanders. In Belgium, we joke about this and we say the far west, but that's another joke. They were bought up by Heidelberg, but Heidelberg didn't really know what to do with them. And they had a management buyout and they're now completely independent. Global operation, global fulfillment is done by a very small Flemish team operating out of Oostkamp. Oostkamp will say you guys nothing, but it's just 10 kilometers outside of Bruges. So it gives you an idea where we are. The infrastructure we have built for them is something called an appliance, which is called a Cerm box, which is basically a virtual hardware with a virtual machine software on it, which is standardized to be the same with every customer, and which contains a number of extra features to make management remote and do integration with the cloud, etc., etc. It's a thing we developed over 15 years. It's pretty stable. Then we have some cloud-based extras. We have Web for Labels, which is basically a standardized online shop. We have an EDI platform to order labels and card boxes, etc., etc. We have some business intelligence running on Power BI, and that's all in the cloud right now. Azure cloud at this moment, but we work cloud agnostic, so that means we can put it wherever. And all this is needs global connectivity. That should work out of the box, right? This means a box is shipped to a customer, it needs to be able to set up its connectivity automatically, right? We don't send techs out. We only sell sales and consultants out, right? So techs hardly go on the move. It's a very average start. No, it's not your average startup. There is no a no-nonsense approach. There is not much talk. Oops, I am gone.
I still got you.
I'm still there?
Yes, you are.
Yep.
No, because my session disappeared. Anyway, let's see if I can get it back. Right, there we are again. So what basically happens, it's not a talking culture. It's a bit northern in a way. So we do a lot of technical stuff. We do a lot of testing before we put stuff forward. And it's a bit of a different culture. It's one of my favorite customers, to be honest. Next slide, please. So this is what they basically do. You have large label printers, and they print the label on the dash stuff. But that can be card boxes, that can be labels on wine bottles, that can be labels on food. That's basically what they do. They manage that process. They manage the sales. They manage the whole ERP stuff about it. Okay. Next slide, please. So what are our key problems? Our key problems is a need for connectivity. We have a couple of types of connectivity. We have our own people who need to be able to connect. We have a lot of stuff in the cloud. We have some stuff on premise at the HQ. And we have one specific custom built box at every customer site. Right? And that all needs connectivity. That needs to work everywhere. Cross-platform, global, and that global is a difficult one. We always think internet connectivity is easy. Internet connectivity is the same everywhere. And that's not true. Not all IP connectivity is created equal. And we have latency. So that means you really have to design your network or have something that designs it for you. One of the problems we also have is our VPN tunnels used to be blocked by countries like Egypt. Don't know why. Biggest censorship problem we have is with Egypt. Less than China, but it helps. And it needs to be performant. We need low latency, high bandwidth. Bandwidth is usually not the problem. Latency is the problem to where all our customers are. Southern America, Australia, Japan, China, Europe. I mean, it's not that easy. We need zero configuration on the client side, especially for security. Right? We have template standard policies with a deny all policy and limited service access. And we like to work over DNS, right? Needs to be secure, and it needs to be deployed by a spot, a single point of truth, which is basically the central ERP system of Cerm. And we automate everything with infrastructure as code. Our tool is Ansible, but if somebody has time, I am willing to wage a religious war over what the best tool is. I mean, it's what we picked up. Originally, we did that by hiding OpenVPN clients in all systems. And we've grown up with that. So we have central authentication. We have a chain of VPN servers everywhere. Basically, we were rebuilding NordVPN, but then for Cerm. That worked, but it was hell to maintain, hell to secure. The performance, especially internationally, was flaky, and the complexity became too much for them. So we ended up with, next slide, please, with implementing city tunnels between everything, right? And we took our time for this. So we did a very extensive proof of concept. We built everything, we tested everything, especially because the infrastructure as code, the deployment by Ansible of all the aspects in NetFoundry was a little early days. So we had to test if everything works. We had to work out some bugs, etc., etc. But in the end, this is basically what we have. Everything communicates on a service level, directed by our central systems with our policies, and they only see services on a need-to-know basis with full logging and auto-deployment. That's basically what we built. Next slide, please. Now, so zero trust, automation, high quality, sales pitch, very important, but it is important, right? If for Cerm the connectivity falls away, customers lose half of their services. Everything that's in the cloud, they lose, right? We cannot manage them. We cannot support them, right? So it's very important that this is zero trust, secure, that it's high quality, and the automation makes it feasible. Basically, the whole customer set of Cerm is now run by 4 techies. All operations and development are run by 4 techies, which is not feasible if you don't automate everything. I used to have this nice T-shirt. I walked around the office with "Be quiet or I'll replace you with a very small script." But that's the only way forward for what we are doing. We need to codify all our infrastructure. We're not there yet, but we need to get there within 5 years, in my opinion. Next slide, please. So, what are the lessons learned? And I think is important. At Cerm, there's a lot of innovation, but it's not about the bullshit bingo. It's not about getting the right new hype terminology, agile, nimble, whatever in there. But taking those concepts, which are usually common sense sold as expensive consultancy mumbo jumbo, and implement them for ourselves based on technical merit of a solution, right? Always test yourself. Always never talk to the sales guy. Always talk to techie. Techie is going to tell you what the solution really can do and what the limitations are. Test for yourself. Just create that sense of realism when you implement something, right? And you should not shoot the supplier if he has a problem here and there. Every supplier has problems. Security, technical, implementation. The real exam and the real problem is how your supplier reacts to those problems. First of all, transparency. Oh shit, yeah, that is a problem. No, it's not a problem, it's a bug. It's not a bug, it's a feature. That's what some suppliers do. Don't take that. Just open communication and work with your supplier to fix your problems, right? Second thing, very important, is we take a year to test this and to implement it like we want to. So the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Test, and automate your testing, right? Because otherwise you limit your tests by a lack of time, right? Build real-life test scenarios and not lab tests or let's play around tests, right? That just check a number of things. Eat your own dog food. Start using it. Start with your IT department using it. Start with your test kits going out using it. But really implement it in real life, because there's no solution perfect and in a perfect order of what you as a company need, right? Don't buy that illusion, right? Last but not least, a lot of solutions are bought on the fancy GUI and user experience web interface, right? I couldn't get a toss about a GUI. I put it a bit blunt. GUIs are for losers, right? What you need is an automation tool. You need a web service you're sure of that works, that has your favorite automation tool to talk to it, right? If you guys are you Puppet guys, right? Puppets on a string. Take care that your tool uses Puppets, but take care you can use your automation. Right? Everything needs to be auto-config, no manual interventions, and especially operate from a single point of truth database you use for everything, for all your configurations with as much standardization as possible. Okay. Next slide. Very important, in my opinion, I cannot imagine anybody buying closed source solutions in 2022. Everything should be in the clear, and you should never get locked into a solution, right? NetFoundry knows this, but worst case, if you don't like the NetFoundry implementation of City Tunnel or the City Fabric behind it, we can build our own or have somebody else build their own for it, right? Never get locked in. Being locked in with a security, with a technology is so 90s, right? But we're still doing that. A lot of the cloud business is built on trying to lock you in on a proprietary feature that's not just a little different. Don't go for it, right? Make that balance between insourcing and outsourcing, right? It's a very difficult one to do. We used to build our own communications, and it took some convincing to give that up, right? And outsource that, right? But if you have good automation tools, good monitoring tools, that should not be that much of a problem. And focus on the stuff your company can make a competitive difference with. Security is key. Zero trust, deny all, eyes only. Log auto-configured. That's my conclusion of what zero trust would be. Probably there are 10 people who can put nicer words on that, but it's what my short is. But also the A in CIA, availability, take care of redundancy, right? And for instance, we are using the NetFoundry solution, but that does not mean we're completely redundant. We need the redundant connectivity in some cases. We need to do stuff. Performance is an issue, right? What do you have a connection for if it's not performant enough to work in a decent way, right? And you need disaster recovery. I mean, it's one of I do a lot of security consulting when I teach security. And one of the things that strike me is we make a lot of fuss about crypto lockers, right? While the real news nobody talks about is that all those companies that really got messed up by a crypto locker didn't have a business continuity solution in place that worked, right? That's the real news, not that the crypto locker locked their systems. No, they don't have a business continuity solution. Now, one of the other things, and one of the features in Zero Trust is that we do a little security by obscurity, by not showing stuff around. That is something I'm still in doubt with if that's a good solution. Very important, names, your name solution, how you connect, how you name your services, something to get correct. You know, if I have a network problem or a connectivity problem somewhere at the customers, and we're looking at it with 15 people and we can't find it, then it usually is a DNS problem, right? So get that correct. And last but not least, don't follow trends blindly. Just learn from everybody and build your companies for a future future reality and for a future reality. So think for yourself. I've been active in the IT sector for 25 years. I used to be an IT journalist when I was young, innocent, and good-looking. We still do the same bullshit bingo. We still use terminology, and we should sell on solutions. We should sell on how it works and why it works, and especially in the long term. I think we have one more slide, and that's the last one. If there are any questions, feel free to give me a beep. I think the same counts for Mike, right?
Yes, sir.
So I hope I was a bit clear, but yeah.
Perfectly clear from my side.
Perfect. Thank you.
I've seen Mike has already been hard working on the Q&A part.
Cool.
So currently
Yeah, I
there are
haven't
no
followed
open
that.
questions in my regard.
I'm a very simple guy. I'm not multitasking. I can only do one thing at a time.
Just a hint from our side, there's a podcast from DevOps Sauna, the Eficode podcast series about Zero Trust and DevOps, available on, I think, every major podcast platform. Recorded by Mike and our DevOps lead, Andy. Thank you to you both.
Thank you.